Neil Doncaster wanted a 10-team league, but it turns out he's just been broached. Welcome back to Fog Football. Brendan Rodgers is not the only manager that wanted a bigger league. There was Derek McInnes, there was Stephen Robinson. Neil McCann hinted at it, but he's not the manager, so we can't really turn around and say the manager or Rangers turned around and said that he didn't want it. But you look across the board, right? Why would you want a 10-team league? We're going to get into Rodgers' comments in a minute, right? But we've already discussed why. What is actually the benefits of a 10-team league? There's nothing, unless you don't like the split. And even I just don't get it. Like, there's so many teams in this league, and you look at teams. I mean, honestly, if you're outside the top two, why would you want two less spots in the league? I'm not. I don't want two less spots. But point being is, why would a team like St Mirren, Motherwell, Kelly? Why would they want the potential risk of dropping at the league? You know what I mean? A lot. If you're down at the bottom half of this table, there's more chance you staying in the big league if there's 12 teams compared to there's 10. And at the same time, if there's 14 or 16, a team like Motherwell, I mean, let's put Hearts for example. Hearts and Hibs have been up and down like yo-yos. Are they ever going to go down again with a 16-team league? Highly doubt it, highly doubt it. But apparently the Celtic higher-ups were actually in favour of decreasing the league. So we'll see how it goes. Now, Brendan Rodgers admits he's been in favour of increasing the size of the Scottish Premiership. Celtic officials are understood to be cool on the idea of adding the number of clubs in the top flight, with sources hinting the Hoops Chiefs were behind the proposal for a 10-team top flight. Well, we've seen speculation about the timing of the reduced league, the 10-team league, the reconstruction. Now, if the sources hint that the Hoops Chiefs were behind the proposal of a 10-team league, is it any surprise that the 10-team league reconstruction statement came out the same day as another statement at Celtic Football Club? Absolutely not. Now, in terms of Brendan Rodgers himself, he wants a 14 or a 16-team league, and this is what he said. And I quote, "I certainly don't think it needs to get smaller. If it goes anyway, I think there's still a notion for me that we could bring a few more teams into the league. Clearly, there's maybe issues around TV revenue, money, in whatever way that would look, and there would be a challenge to that. But I think from a football perspective, I've always felt that the increase in the league would help." End of quote. Of course, it would help. I think it needs to happen. Um, you look at the top four teams in the Championship this season: Falkirk, Ayr, Partick, and Livy. Now, obviously, I mean, Livy, we always bash them here. We always say, oh, their pitch, their fans, etc. But this league benefits from having teams like Falkirk in it. And you know what? Falkirk are going to be in it regardless. They're going to win the league. They're 8 points clear. You know, we've talked a lot about the Scottish Championship, but it would just be so refreshing because you'd be putting four teams into it for the 6 team league, but then you're automatically there's more chance in the championship of seeing like the lesser teams even get promoted. So that'd be good to see as well. But obviously, a lot of the Scottish football it relies on television money raised from the Old Firm games and other derby matches that you get for a season of. So again, we'll have to wait and see. Rodgers then went on to say, "I wouldn't necessarily say it kills the enjoyment because there's always something to play for. But of course, if you're playing a team home in a way, then it's arguably better. But I can't say in all my experiences up here that has killed the joy. We will go to St Johnstone again this weekend. We'll be ready for that, and the supporters will be ready for that and excited for the game. If I had a choice, of course, you would play a team home and away, and that would be it. But the league is the way it is at the moment. It's nice that there's certain items of the game being looked at, but at the moment it is what it is, and we have to deal with it." End of quote. Home and away, 4 times a season's pish. It is. It is. 4 times a season is pish, man. I don't like it. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't. You play the same teams far too often. You know what I mean? Far, far too often. And I think to get a 14 team or a 16 team league, you're going to have to scrap the idea of 4 games a season. You know what I mean? And if Sky are really that fucking bothered about losing that many Old Firm games, well, why don't you buy the cup deals for Premier Sports then? Simple as that. And it means you can get the Scottish League Cup and the Scottish Cup as well. And then you can maybe get your Old Firm semi-finals, your Old Firm Cup finals. So that's a way of fixing that. But of course, they don't want to reach their hand into their pocket and spend any more money on this league that they think shite. Leave your thoughts down below. I want a bigger league. Brendan wants a bigger league. Pretty much everybody wants a bigger league. And hopefully we get it one day. But until then, Peace.